And now, Podtendo presents Side Quest Cinema.
When I'm finished, your mutated cells will heal anything. But you think we're making you a superhero? We're making you a super slave. We'll see about that, Posh Spice. Now, look at me. I don't want to. Exactly. Oh, there's the money shot, baby. Deadpool.
Hey guys, welcome to Podtendo's Side Quest Cinema. I don't know what number we are, and I definitely at some point was gonna go and count all our shows. I just didn't. So we're like, some episode. I don't think we number these. Doesn't matter. We talk about movies on a video game podcast for no reason. I'm Mick. I'm joined by
Tyson.
Yeah,
that's because we're a pop culture retrospective Let's Play show.
You did mention
so
that.
that pop culture.
Yeah.
That pop culture.
Tyson did it. He brought it back together. So there you go. And that just gives us a bit of a reprieve, keeps some content flowing. And we like talking about movies, especially movies from our childhood. So that's why for some reason, we decided to rewatch one of our probably favorite franchises as children, X-Men. So we're reviewing all the X-Men films this year. This is like an X-Men adjacent project today that we're looking at, and that is Deadpool. And when I say X-Men adjacent, the X-Men are actually in this film. So it's definitely an X-Men movie.
Well, two of them are.
No, I saw Xavier's name written down. That might count.
Oh, okay, cool. You know what? I'm on that same path.
All
so.
right. I was like, I don't know if we can do a certain part of our show on this episode. I was like, no, I saw Xavier's name. That counts. Oh, they said Cable. Perfect. All right.
That's brilliant. I love that.
All right, perfect.
I think I might just have to choose your list because your list is seeming hilarious.
All right, perfect.
I'm all in.
Deadpool. That's fun. That's what you guys came here to talk about. So we're going to talk about. Good times. It was released February 8th, 2016. Runtime was 108 minutes. Budget was $58 million. The box office saw a $782.6 million return. People absolutely adored this film. It was directed by an overpaid tool. Produced by asshats. The cast included God's Perfect Idiot, a hot chick, the comic relief, a moody teen, a CGI character, and a gratuitous cameo.
Yep. That's ripped straight from the opening.
Yeah.
So.
As I was watching it, I was like, and I had already started making the notes, and I was like, I guess I have to go change who directed this film.
That's fair. I could see why they would use pseudonyms.
And I believe a British villain was also there. So a British villain. Development details. I guess we're just jumping right into it, and we'll talk about this movie proper, shall we? Which is good. And then we can meander after the fact. I like how we do these shows. Actually, it's good. It's nice and tight off the top, and then we devolve a little bit, and it gets long in the tooth. But if you're coming and you want just a review, we no time wasted, right?
Try to keep it tight. Get you because people fall off as longer things go. So
I do that all the time. I always fall off things. Development details. Ryan Reynolds had been interested in playing this character since 2004. He enjoyed that Deadpool referred to himself as Ryan Reynolds crossed with a Sharpay. This project started moving forward after the 2009's Origins Wolverine was successful. Tim Miller was brought in 2010, but Green Lantern's 2011 bomb created some hesitation with the studio. There was some leaked footage of 2014 that was met with such high praise from fans online that Fox Studios finally pulled the trigger and went all in on the project. Writers Reese and Wernock wrote a draft of the script every year for 6 years before completing the film. Around 70% of the first draft ended up in the final movie. Most rewrites were to keep pop culture references up to date. 48 hours before the film was set to begin filming, the studio cut the budget by $8 million, causing rewrites and the removal of some scenes. We lost a motorcycle scene after the 12 bullet part, and the reason that he left his duffel bag full of guns in the cab at the end was because they wanted to lower the cost of the final fight scene. The burnt skin makeup took several hours to apply. The eyes on the costumes were removable so that the suit could change expressions scene to scene. Ryan Reynolds paid for Reese and Warnock to be on set during shooting since the studio didn't want to pay to have writers available for rewrites since the script was complete. This led to several jabs throughout the script, similar to, and the inclusion of lines such as, "Funny that I only ever see two of you. It's like the studio didn't want to pay to have other X-Men," which was basically true. There was 1,500 visual effects in this film. 700 were planned and 800 were added and completed in the last 4 weeks of production. So there you go. The fun details of Deadpool.
Yeah, gotta love when studios interfere. But it's cool that they kind of just like poked fun of it in the script to kind of get back at them. I did totally forget that the reason this got greenlit was because it got quote unquote leaked. So I was like, I've totally forgot all about that. I remember that happening and this thing getting greenlit because of it. But I completely forgot about that until you said it.
Yeah, that's kind of me like picking through this too, right? So like part of the development details of this film specifically was the studios weren't all in, right, in 2016 still, right? Or like early 10s, they were like, I don't know. I think Avengers, right? Like 2011, Green Lantern's coming out, and people are like, that was awful. It's not until like 2012's Avengers where people are like, oh, maybe there's some levity to the superhero properties, right? So that's kind of the era where this is kind of being built in, and obviously it's a passion project from Reynolds, the fact that he actually went out of his own pocket to pay the writers' salaries to come onto sets. Just showed that he kind of his love and his desire to kind of make this, which is it's just cool, right? It's nice to see when there's like a passion project being made, even if it is just the star of the show.
Yeah. I always enjoy when people who are passionate get to make the movies get to make a movie about something that they're passionate about. Sucks that they kind of got interfered with and budgets got cut. And it's like,
yeah,
but such is life. Can't fix it now. But it's
well,
I mean, look at the box office. It was a smash hit. So obviously it's like, and they're now on the third one. So it all worked out in the end.
All worked out in the end. And yeah, speaking of the third one, that is all over the news cycle right now too. So trying to do research for this, all I was seeing was Hugh Jackman in yellow costume. That's all that was there. And I was like, I just wanted to do one movie without Hugh Jackman, but here he comes. I guess he actually makes a cameo in this one. So
he does.
All right. So the plot summary of Deadpool, for those uninitiated, this is a terrible plot summary, by the way, and it's my patented Podtendo one, so don't try and steal it. Deadpool attacks some mercenaries on an overpass. Via flashback, we see a love story between Wade and Vanessa form. We see Mr. Wilson get cancer and leave his love to seek a shady cure. The fight continues on the bridge with the inclusion of the X-Men, but another flashback fills in the rest of the origin stories, which leads him into seeking revenge on the bridge. Deadpool, I guess, post all the flashbacks and bridge part, then asks the X-Men for help, which leads to a battle in an old shipyard and a happy ending for the lovely couple. Yay!
Yep, those are the scenes, and that it happens.
Those things do happen. The film's major overarching themes. We have love, hurting the ones you love, and vanity.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I would say like a sex joke and then a dick joke.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Those are definitely themes. There you go. So first memories. There's something new that we're doing. I remember seeing a trailer for this where Deadpool changes in a phone booth and you see Ryan Reynolds' butt or something. I don't know what film you're watching, but like that's kind of a thing in my head. And then I remember seeing it in theaters. I don't know if it was opening day, and I think I remember being like, it's okay, like it's fine, but it hitting really like hard in the pop cultural landscape, right? So everyone was talking about it. Oh, this is the best superhero movie. They finally did it. They finally, made a movie for the whatever, right? It seemed a lot bigger than it was. I was always like, it's competent. It gets you there, right? Comparatively, it's maybe not the greatest film, but it's fine for what it was. So that was kind of my first memories. Do you have first memories of this movie?
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm a big fan of the comics, so when this movie came out, we were all pretty jazzed on it. I don't know when we saw it opening day, but I definitely did remember going and seeing it. And I guess I rip off this Band-Aid now, and I had the same experience I did then as I did this time, and I just didn't enjoy it.
Cool.
And I was very bored through most of it, so it was like, yes. So yeah,
Okay.
that was my first memories of this movie.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I remember seeming like you enjoyed it. I'm a glass half full kind of guy, so I'm always like, good, bad. It was an experience. So let's get into the review. Popper Tyson already pulled the Band-Aid off, showed you his gaping wound. Let's see what else we can pick around and see if there's any other scabs we can pull off. That's a disgusting image, but this is kind of a disgusting movie, so it fits. There we go. Review. Favorite parts. We have to start with our favorite part of the movie. Talk about which part stood out the most. Tyson, what's your favorite part of Deadpool?
Nick, you should start on this one.
All right. For myself, I kind of liked the inclusion of the love interest, Vanessa. She's not like the deepest character, but she actually does something, right? She's witty, she's strong, she's funny, she's capable, she's smart. Deadpool kind of spends the whole movie trying to protect her, but ironically, I think she could take care of herself just fine, right? Like during the climax, she kind of is throwing shade at the villain, right? Has little jabs. She's got a mouth on her too. She actively escapes from the little pod that she's encapsulated in. She helps out Wade in a fight. She is kind of hesitant, right? She doesn't run back to Wade at the end with open arms, right? She kind of has a little bit more rapport. She's like, no, you hurt me. She's an actual person and not just, weirdly enough, literally the fact that she's just a sex symbol in this movie, the fact they gave her some type of underlying character and she does stuff, I was like, cool, awesome. I thought that was pretty bold for this kind of project, right? I was like, I think they did a good job with her, right? Like, for what it was for the rest of the film, not bad. Yourself, any favorite parts?
No. I have a bad joke that my favorite part was when I saw the credits rolling, and I knew I just didn't have to watch this movie anymore because it took me 8 breaks to get through this movie, and I was like, because it was just like I'd get too frustrated or I'd be so bored. I'm like, I need to just go do something else for 2 minutes. So it took me a long time to get through this movie. It took me like 3-4 hours, and I was just, as soon as I was done, I was like, just sweet serenity.
Really? Fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't like his suit? You didn't think like the suit? Well, maybe that'll come up in the next one. All right, so this has no favorite parts. Most notable scene or part of this movie. So that is, you haven't seen it for a while, right? You kind of remember seeing it. Maybe it was like, it's been 7 years, and you're like, that thing that stands out in your mind. So was it the opening credits with the little jokes, the inclusion of CGI Colossus, Wade and Vanessa's love story / making, Deadpool's costume, the torture scenes, the car chase on the overpass, the tanker fight, his little hand. I was going to say something for like comedy-wise, but even though this movie is funny, and it's well written, it breaks the fourth wall, and it is very much if you like Deadpool comics, this is just the version of it on the big screen, right? It's kind of the dry, witty, crude humor, but there isn't really like a line, right? Like, what's a quotable line from this movie? It's very, very bizarre. Maybe the teasing of Cable in the post-credit stinger. I don't know. What's your most notable scene or part of this movie?
The Bandu in the trunk joke.
Oh, okay.
That joke generally made me laugh out loud and have a smile on my face, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is." I love this part. That's why the this whole setup is for this one joke, and it pays off and it works.
Yeah, and
I like that part. That part made me laugh. They have this like cute little interaction.
Yeah.
It's like high 10 on this one. It's like this is wonderful. This great little scene. I love this scene.
Well, and that's almost what this movie is. It's a bunch of small, well-written, charismatic interactions, right? Like, it's almost like, you're right, the action in this movie, kind of lame. The pacing, the editing, the plot, but everything kind of, but the characters actually, the characters are all done quite well, right? Like, and I would say that. So yeah, like his interaction with the cab driver, his interaction with the blind black crackhead lady that he lives with, kind of thing, right? Like, he clearly just has a Roomba going around the house to fuck her, like to trip her. That's really funny.
Yes.
Right? Like, and those things, and like all the character interactions, I was like, I think it's done. Like, that's pretty well. For myself, I would probably go with this costume. It's perfect. That's exactly what you want, right? Like, it holds up. It's gonna be 7 years old now at this point. It's perfect. It looks just as good as any other superhero costume. They're not changing it. They're not doing the big alterations. They kind of hit it right out of the park right out of the way, which is excellent, right? I mean, this character could be done really poorly, really quickly, right? Look at X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at any other X-Men movies, right? Like, when did Cyclops never looked like Cyclops, ever, in any of the movies. They never got that costume right? Magneto, his costume, sometimes it looks perfect, sometimes you're like, what is he wearing? Like, why is Michael Fassbender just dressed up like a guy? Like, where's his purple cape? Versus, at least this movie was very true to the comic, where, like, they got kind of that costume. So, probably the most notable part is probably his costume, right? So, it's pretty iconic at this point.
Yeah. And for the most part, like, they nailed a lot of the little visuals, which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Cool. About what's we got a little bit negative here for our next couple parts. What is your least favorite part of this movie?
Well, I didn't enjoy my time with it. But actually it was like, do I write notes on this? So I kind of wrote some notes, but then it got to 4.5 pages of me just complaining about this movie, and I was like, nah, I'm not reading this. So yeah, a lot of it just doesn't work for me.
So your job, I don't care if you have 4.5 pages. Your job now is what is your least favorite part? So you have 4.5 pages. What is your number one thing? You got to edit. You got to focus your skills. You got to like hone them. What is your least favorite part? You got to pick something.
I really don't like the relationship with Vanessa, because she doesn't get, like, in my mind, she doesn't get a character. Like, when she breaks out, yeah, she frees herself from that whole thing, but like the reason she gets captured is her ex-boyfriend. And she only talked to, like, oh, my ex-boyfriend's around? It's like, girl, how long has it been? Why is this girl still obsessed with this guy that, yeah, like, they were obviously had a good match, but how long has it been since he left? Has it been 3 weeks? Like, if that's the case, it's like, yeah, okay, I get it, but it feels like it's been a lot longer.
Like, in my mind it does. Yeah, like, this movie seems like it takes place over the course of a month, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But at some point she does say, like, it's been years. I'm like,
yeah.
Years?
And it's like, and her entire thing is, it's like, oh, my ex-boyfriend wants to talk to me? I'll go to the back alley and go try to find him. It's like, what is this? Like,
yeah.
Most women would be like, that loser who left me randomly, like, fuck him. Like, it sucks that, like, I was trying to help him and everything. And there's a really good interaction, but it's all expositional, where he gets diagnosed with cancer.
Yes.
And she's just kind of like, it just has a moment of him just like staring at it, like she's going through plan B, C, and D, and I'm memorizing the details of her face. And I'm like, that's a good line, but you're telling me and not showing me. And I'm like, I want this to work, but it's just so expositional and monologue-y, and all the good parts are like slapped away in montages. And maybe that's budgeting restrictions, but it's like, there's like 8 montages in this movie, and it's like, you can't do this. It doesn't work. It kills the pacing, and all the depth and details that makes a movie falls out at that point. It's like, so that's my least favorite part, is their relationship, because it feels like it doesn't work.
Yeah, I didn't even write anything down, because I don't have anything, and I realized, okay, I gotta hone my skills. What's my least favorite part? I don't like, I don't know, CGI Colossus, but also he's kind of funny, right? Like, I don't know, it's maybe the villains, right? The blandness of the villains.
Yeah, so like Super Mega Negasonic Warhead.
Oh, I loved
works for you.
100%. I liked her character. I thought it was good. I was like,
her character is to be a moody teen.
That's perfect.
And
that's it. But like,
and to like, be as an X-Men, everything's fine, and she just needs to help Colossus not get choked by this chick, so she blows up the entire tanker. As an X-Men, and she's actively going out on missions. She has no control over her powers at all. She does like three moves.
No. But that was her control. She's at complete control when she's underneath the car and she's like, "Jump on, I'll like catapult you." She's in control of that. She's in control of the big blast. She's in, like, she gets her.
So why nuke an entire section when literally the only threat that she sees going on is Colossus is getting choked, instead of doing anything to de-escalate the situation, like knocking this girl out who has her back to you? I'm gonna nuclear bomb the entire area and blow up this helicarrier because the plot needs to escalate it. It's like that doesn't work. This shit doesn't work, people.
I mean, as a moody teenager, I don't know if you're in control of your emotions all the time, right? Like that's what I would argue. Is I would say you start getting pissed off, and she doesn't understand when, like, you know, when to use a little explosion versus a big explosion. She's like, I'm just gonna go for pay dirt, and I'm gonna fuck this girl up. Like, I'm gonna take her out, and that's the only way. Is I'm gonna go like supersonic kind of thing, right? Like, I'm gonna go like all in and try and take this girl out, independent of what happens. And it's learning, right? Like your first couple missions, you're not very good at being an X-Men.
But it doesn't seem like it seems like her and Colossus are the response team to this.
No, they're like the D list. They're the guys that everyone else is on the missions. You know, like they're out crashing jets up in the Arctic or something, and they're just the kids that they left behind.
I guess. Either way, it's just like I could go on. I was debating just writing this all up and posting it somewhere, and I'm like, nah, I don't do this.
Yeah, like so least favorite part. I don't know. I struggle, and I kind of almost want to clump my criticism in least favorite part, because I do have some negatives to say about this film, right? And I'll just get right into my criticism now. Is it's there are a lot of held back. So the fact that this, well, let's get into criticism. So like the editing of this film is really not the best, right? Actively, as I'm watching this movie, I'm like, why is this movie being told this way, right? Like, why are we starting with an action scene and then going into a flashback and then coming back to the action scene and then going to another flashback and then coming back to the action scene? And, you know, and I'm like, would this movie work better if it was just told linearly? Potentially, right? Like, would it make for a better viewing experiences? Would it like be more even? You know, you'd get the funny bits, the love story, the torture, then you would get some of the action. It also just looks cheap, right? Compared to other films at the time, right? So when we get to what else comes out at the time, you're like, yeah, this doesn't seem like it had the biggest budget. It didn't, right? We know that, guys. Like I told you that off the top. It didn't have the biggest budget. It was cut prior to filming, right? They didn't give any credit to this movie. So the fact they're making it, they're doing what they can, right? $58 million doesn't get you very far in Hollywood. So, you know, playing around with those things. What's the other point? And maybe the lack of experience of the director. So Tim Miller, or the asshat, I think, the overpaid douchebag, as he was called. Some of the scenes are janky, right? The action scenes actually don't hold up well. When they're in the car and he's throwing guys out, it kind of looks like a CGI guy flying out of a car, right? There's parts I'm like, that looks cheap. Yeah, that kind of looks not great. This doesn't seem... The sets are all very small and confined, and they're working with what they have, right? They didn't have the greatest arsenal, right? They didn't have their full duffel bag full of weapons. They left that in the trunk of the car. They're showing up to a fight, and they only have 2 swords. They made the best of what they had, but I think my criticism is overall the film does seem inexperienced, right? The writing, it's not bad, right? It's actually pretty good, and I think that's what holds this film together. And just the charisma and fun that Deadpool brings to the screen definitely makes this film a little bit more cohesive. But I agree. It looks cheap. It kind of seems janky. It kind of seems like the people directing and editing and, like, you know, filming didn't always know what they were doing. And I mean, if you go back and look at the experience of where everyone was, this is literally like Tim Miller's first like directing, and it shows, right? You definitely see it on the screen. So is it the worst X-Men movie that I've seen? No, it's not. So it's not even close. But that's probably my criticism. Do you have anything to add on top of that criticism?
No, I've kind of voiced it. None of this movie works for me. I hate it from start to finish, and I'm just like I said, I'd take multiple breaks. This is my least favorite X-Men movie of all time. So
really, like, X-Men Origins Wolverine works better for you than this.
Works better for me than this. In this movie, like I seriously, it's like I never write 4.5 pages of notes. I never write notes because I was like, this movie's so frustrating. It just
whoa,
not work.
You've been doing a podcast for like 7 years. You don't fucking write notes. What the hell are you doing?
No, I watch it and just like, because I know the movies. I have a pretty good memory for things. But the funny thing is, like, a lot of the things I've referred to are in my notes, but it's just like yeah, I don't know. It's you can cut the first like 13 minutes of this movie. The editing's all over the place. It's ugly to look at. The characters aren't motivated. They're literally some people could just like you can cut Weasel from the entire movie. He Wade doesn't come off as somebody likable. Like you don't get why people would want to hang out with this person. Like he straight up gets the one guy almost killed, and then in a later scene he's like, "Oh hey man, here's a shot," and it's like, "Thanks man." It's like, why do people like this guy? Like because he makes a couple jokes. Is that all it takes? Like this guy is not a good person to be around, but like get it. That's the whole point. It's like, but still, it just everybody is an idiot and unmotivated, and it's ugly to look at. It's choppy. There's flashback, then flash forward, then flashback, then flash forward, then flashback. And we're like 50 minutes in, and we're still on a fucking a road that we were at the first scene.
Yeah, well, they couldn't go anywhere else. And again,
it's so painful.
They're super limited.
It's so painful to be with. Like, this does not work for me.
$8 million budget. Movie. Oh, there's no way we're ever going to be able to figure this out, is there? Movie budget. So at $58 million, yeah, I agree. And like, there's parts that work, and there's definitely parts that don't. Production budgets. There's no way I'm able to find a list at this point that shows me. Oh my god.
I'm just like, Blade probably has a similar budget, notwithstanding, like maybe a little bit more.
Okay, so what am I looking at? I got a list here, 58. And let's just do 58 is close. Yeah, 58. So we're here. Deadpool. So movies that are similar to the budget. American Sniper, with bigger box office. Goosebumps. The Goosebumps movie and this movie have similar budgets. Rambo 3. The Internship with Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. Flintstones in Viva Las Vegas.
Yeah, I get that. But like, budgets does not make movie.
Leatherhead, Life, also with Ryan Reynolds. Look at that. And that's kind of it. So Resident Evil Afterlife apparently also had a similar budget, but I think that's one of the CGI movies.
That's the one where they're in the desert.
No, I think that's
filming in the desert.
2010. No, Afterlife. Turns into undead, continues to reach new heights, and from an old friend. Oh, this is when they're in like the prison in LA.
Oh, okay, yeah. So lots of indoor sets.
Yeah.
But still, it's just like
Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance had $57 million. So you know what I mean? Like essentially, that's kind of where you're working. Oh, Forrest Gump had 55. Okay, well, budgets sometimes don't matter.
But that's like what 91, 92?
Yeah, but okay, that's also
so like that's almost like double what this movie would be in this time, just with inflation. So it's like it's hard to kind of peg down what would be an equivalently filmed movie. But anyways, let's get off some criticism. Let's get on some praise, Mick.
Okay, and like I'm just trying to play devil's advocate, because you're right. Like critically sitting there, I'm like, it's okay, it's fine. And you know what, like the general public, and again, if you come in with no baggage, Tyson, did you like Deadpool before this?
Yeah, I knew him sort of. Like I knew of him as a character.
So you probably came in with some type of expectation, some type of like, again, you're like, I want Rogue to be Superman. Rogue should be Superman. She's just a girl. I don't like that. And I do wonder how much of that baggage alters kind of your view of these kind of films, right?
He needs to be funny and have some meta jokes. That's all I expect out of a Deadpool movie. I don't expect it to be like high class art, but it's like,
so he's meta and he has some pretty funny jokes. Remember when you laughed? There you go.
So the Bandu joke.
Yeah, there you go. So praise. This movie is, like I said, is held together with love, right? We talked about just the adversity, right? They've got a young crew. They've got basically a studio that doesn't want this project to happen, right? Like Fox Studios, like, we don't care about this film. We don't want to make it. It shows, right? They did a lot pieced together. They have lots of CGI kind of set scenes that were made before, right? Like the 12 bullet scenes where he has 12 bullets and he's shooting everyone on the bridge. That was done before the movie was ever made. So they had they had to build a movie around that scene, because that was one of their test footage. That was what they had. And they went to different studios to say, like, do you want to make this movie? And then they built a movie around their kind of conceptual product, right? That's hard to do, right? So like this movie literally is held together by love. The writers wanted this film to happen. Ryan Reynolds really wanted this film to happen. He paid for the writer's salary, right? Like he forego taking more money on the sets. He pushed and wanted this to happen. And it shows, right? People like this movie. It made a lot of money. It could have been it could have been better if you have a bit more experience. If you put Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks in this film, sure, you can get a Forrest Gump. Yeah, great. But sometimes you're stuck with the hand you're dealt with, right? Like when you're sitting there like, we don't have money for this and that, and like we can't have more guns in the final scene. What do you do, right? Like, so I think for what it did, I think it's held together really well. It works for the most part. I don't know if this is the worst movie. If I was to rank all the movies, it's probably around X-Men 3 level, at least, in my mind, right? Like, it's not worse. X-Men Origins Wolverine is, like, the worst thing I've ever seen. It was so bad.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. It is a pretty bad movie.
Like,
it's not a movie that you enjoy watching.
Oh, it's not. And, like, this one, did I love watching it? No. At some point, did I go and, like, take the garbage out? 100%. But it was fine. It works. And I'm like, cool, awesome. I'm glad that we at least get more, right? So, you've ever seen Deadpool 2, have you?
No, not after my experience with this movie.
Cool. So I'm excited that we, like, did. I think because I knew you didn't see it, I was kind of excited because I know you don't like this film. And I was like, I'm curious to see how you feel about Deadpool 2. Because in my mind, it is a step up and they have a bigger budget. So we'll see. Does that actually make a difference?
We'll see. We'll see.
Cool. And then final praise from yourself?
All
right, cool. Then final, so that's it. So that's our final review of thoughts on Deadpool. It works. It doesn't work. We don't know.
It depends on your perspective. I mean, that's like movies are kind of very personal. It's like everybody has their own personal taste and whatever works for them. Like, I'm not, if you like this movie, like, good on you. I'm like, I was really interested to hear your opinion on it because I was like, I've been dreading this. And I was like, I wonder if Nick really likes this movie because I'm always interested to hear why people like movies.
So do I like this movie?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think it's competent. I think it's start to actually it's not competent. It's fine. You go in, you go out, you're like, huh, cool, awesome. It's a different take too, right? I mean, we could talk about some other movies that came out this year. If you want to talk about really bad superhero films, this was definitely not the worst superhero film made this year. So we'll find out.
I wonder what other superhero movie that got made this year.
We'll find out. And are you buying it? So, a final fan theory before we leave the review of this film. So, did Vanessa get superpowers from the tube at the end? So, apparently she is named after the comic character Copycat. And after the film, fans were theorizing that her time in that tube, that suffocates her for like 2 seconds. Apparently that caused enough trauma. That caused a mutation in her, causing her to have powers in the sequel. I don't think that's what happens.
Yeah, have to see the sequel to find out, I guess.
Yeah, sure. All right, cool. I'm like, good. God bless you, fans. God bless you. That's it. So that kind of ends our review. Then finally, we'll do a Wayback Machine, and then we'll come back to other stuff. So we'll set what the pop cultural landscape looked like when this movie came out. So back in February 8th, 2016, we say, hey, what's going on in the world? Do we want to travel back there? We asked Tyson, what is your favorite show? Normally as a choice. Today I'm just going to tell him it's The Simpsons, apparently. So season 27, episode 13. Love is in the N2O2 AR CO2 NEHECH4, which I think is like air. It's the chemical formula for air. No one was paying attention to that. So Professor Frank makes himself attractive to women by using science. Hilarity ensues.
I think I remember this episode.
Yeah, cool.
But season 27, dang, this is a deep cut.
Yeah, it's when did Simpsons start getting good again? Like after 30?
It's like 32, 33. Like, and it's when the It and Halloween season kicks off. And you're like, oh, what's happening right now in this season?
So, yeah, we got a little while. So Simpsons, not great. Other TV shows you could be watching, though, are Lucifer, Billions, The Crown, Fleabag, and Westworld. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think I like The Crown, but The Crown is pretty popular.
Yeah. So it was like
Fleabag's
Fleabag's
fine.
interestingly written.
Yeah.
I hear
Westworld.
Billions is...
Yeah. Lucifer, that was the top show that was released this year. Westworld.
Okay.
It's like a cool idea, but it's just like it's kind of the Deadpool of TV shows. You're like, oh wow, fascinating.
It's just also like it works better as like a movie.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like when they were trying to stretch it out into thing after thing after thing, people were like, but you have to kind of resolve some of the issues from the first one, right? It's like,
the first
fine.
season isn't the worst thing ever. And then I remember watching a review, like just a recap on the second season, and even the guy was like, which was, I would say, an excellent first season of TV. It's like, this is bad. Like, this is a bad second season. He's like, don't watch it. So I just never ever gave it a chance after that. No one has ever told me to go back and watch it. Top cartoons you could be watching, or I guess that started in 2016, were Go-Go Dino, Voltro, Legendary Defender, King Shakar, Shakur, and The Loud House. Okay.
okay.
All right. And then movies. So this weekend, you could have also seen Zootopia, and that made a lot of money. A lot of money. Still in theaters, you could see Moana. Fuck Disney. You're crushing it. I know you.
That's a lot of money that they're just raking in right now.
Zootopia and Moana? I am Moana. I don't know any songs from Moana. Kung Fu Panda.
I was going to say, I'm like, you're really passionate about this. And then this song.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
All right.
Well done. Well done.
Kung Fu Panda 3, still in theaters. Dirty Grandpa and The Fifth Wave. You want a crazy shape-shifting story about aliens? Watch The Fifth Wave. It wasn't very good.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, that's a blank spot in my memory.
But it's like, it has a lot of sexy teens in it. So if you like sexy teens, it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those ones where,
pass.
you know, like the guys, like they have the big broad shoulders and they're all thin and they all run and they're all shirtless.
So it's Riverdale, but with aliens.
Kind of.
Which, does Riverdale have aliens? I feel like they got aliens eventually.
They might. And if you waited a week or two, you could see the Vavavitch, Gods of Egypt, and London Has Fallen. So, I mean, comparatively, I don't know if Deadpool's that bad of a movie.
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda 3, eh?
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda.
I mean, that's a...
So, like, if I'm gonna rank these, I'm probably gonna go Moana, Zootopia, Deadpool. Yeah, Deadpool's like as good as The Witch. So,
See, I'd probably go The Witch.
but it's close.
Kung Fu Panda. No, The Witch, Zootopia, Kung Fu Panda, Moana.
Okay, neat. Okay, so top video games released this month were Gravity Rush Remastered, PS4, XCOM 2, Street Fighter 5, and Far Cry Primal. Video games are really tough at this point in time because Windows and like iOS and Android have stupid ports of every video game in the world. So like Final Fantasy V came out this month, and like Final Fantasy VII, and like Halo 4, and like I'm like, what? Like I don't actually understand new release video games at this point.
Yeah, this is like peak. Developers know there's money in the mobile market, but have no idea how to monetize the mobile market, so they're just kind of throwing whatever at the wall to make it work. Well, like, so we're getting games like, Far Cry Primal is a fine game, but for that to be one of the biggest games right now, it's like, we got some problems.
February too, like I don't think a big games release in February, right?
It's true, true.
Because it's like after the holiday season, so you're kind of just like, wait.
These ones weren't developed by December, so here you go.
Pretty much. And then finally, I guess I should probably have pulled up my phone at some point. So now I just gotta, what's that called? Stall? Is that what that? When you're trying to like delay, so you have like time to do stuff. What's that called again? Is it stalling?
I think it's stalling.
Now that we have delayed it long enough, the top 3 songs, February 8th, 2016, according to the Billboard charts, the number 3 song was "The Hills" by The Weeknd. We've heard that song before.
Yeah, I think.
We must have.
We must
have.
When would he have been here? Interesting.
Oh, but I mean, like, just in general.
Oh, yeah.
2016. I don't know. I'm sure there was, like, games that came out at some point. Well, it was probably, like, sometime I was like, oh, Metal Gear Solid was released this year. No, it was just released on the iOS. Great, awesome. Number 2 song, according to the Billboard charts, was Hello by Adele.
Hello, can you hear me? I'm in California dreaming about who we used to be.
Oh man, crushing it as always.
Yeah, and you know the song. Wait, have we been there before? And then obviously the number one song was by your homeboy, the Canada's own Justin Bieber. Pretty well. Like, say what you want, love him, hate him. He's pretty successful for what he is, considering he was just like a teen.
Incredibly.
Like, as much as I think he's as successful as Miley Cyrus. Is that blasphemy for saying that?
No, I don't think so. They're kind of all in that same like.
That's pretty adjacent, right? It's not like a Rebecca Black, like a Friday that takes off and then does nothing. She does fucking jack's shit, right? So,
well, she took off for the wrong reason. That's a problem.
that's fair. All right. So there you go. So that is what the pop cultural landscape looked like. So maybe you were alive in 2016, and it was one of those weird years you're just like, I don't recall those years in the slightest. But that's what happened pop culturally, and that's when this movie was released. Let's talk about a couple other things, and then we can get out of here. So what else is going on in the X-Men properties? So first we look at Tyson for comics. So what kind of comics came out around February 8th, 2016?
We got a couple of them. We got X-Men, worst X-Men ever, number 1. And I thought that was fitting.
Wait a second. We still have to talk about Dark Phoenix and Apocalypse, and you're going to say this is the worst movie? Oh boy, are you in for a surprise.
Oh, trust me, I'm not. I've seen those movies.
We should also watch New Mutants. You want to talk about the worst X-Men movie? You want to watch New Mutants?
One's more watchable than the other.
I don't know, Tim. I don't. That's the second time I've made the reference to the Home Improvement on this. So, worst X-Men ever. Is that it for comics?
No, there's also All New X-Men number 4. That's like the mainline title.
Okay.
And it looks like X-23 is joining the team. I'm assuming also probably because this might be around the time. Yeah. So Wolverine died, and we also have Old Man Logan number 2.
Okay.
So this is like right when that's kind of kicking off.
Oh, interesting. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. That's good to know. All right. So then in the MCU, so we like to look at its counterparts in the Marvel realm. We get Captain America Civil War, which I've been told doesn't hold up great in a rewatch. It's actually kind of a rough watch. I remember liking it, but I was pretty emotionally invested at that point. And Doctor Strange came out this year, which is fine. It's a fine property, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, those are both totally okay movies.
They were.
I remember like everybody maybe kind of dumping on Civil War, but that was like the first thing of like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. So that was like that set ripples, and I mean that's still going on till this day. So
there you go. And then the across the universe, across the hall, across the aisle in the comic book store, what's going on in the DCEU? You could rather watch Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. No thanks. And Suicide Squad. No thanks.
Oh, the butchered David Ayer movie. Interesting. That's what's happening. This is like Edge Supreme.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So like potentially
we're getting extra cheese with our side of Edge. It's delightful.
So maybe that, like, when I said that I don't know if Deadpool is the worst superhero movie this year. Like, I don't know if you could pay me money to watch the Suicide Squad again. It was so bad.
And I feel about that way about Deadpool.
Yeah.
Like when I said my favorite part was when the credits roll, it meant that I never have to watch this movie ever again.
Oh, it's just like Batman versus, like, have you ever watched Batman versus Superman more than once?
Yes, and the extended cut.
Why?
Because I've rewatched the whole DCEU trilogy, and it's like interesting that Christopher Nolan did a superhero movie. And everybody kind of just like shrugs at it, and you're like, Christopher Nolan did a superhero movie. People he's an interesting filmmaker. Even the stuff you don't like, there's stuff to enjoy.
Wait, so what movie did he do?
Did he not do Man of Steel? Was he not like producer on that one?
No. Well, I mean, he might have been a producer, as in like we'll put his name on it to get the Christopher Nolan rub, but I don't think he worked on those projects.
Oh yeah, it was a story by Christopher Nolan.
Oh.
And he's produced by Christopher Nolan. So, like, I mean, He's had his hand on that thing. He was on set. Yes, it's a Zack Snyder movie, and that's why it doesn't work, because I don't think Zack Snyder's done anything good. Yes, I know he did 300. Yes, I know he did those other movies that people really like to point at and be like, oh, it's okay. And like, no, it's Watchmen. Watchmen's not good.
Watchmen's fine. But Watchmen is also
not
like
good.
not as good as the comic, and like the Watchmen TV show is so much better than the movie.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, so it's just right now we have like a lot of bad takes. I don't think studios understand fully what's going on, and we see that with Deadpool, Suicide Squad, Batman versus Superman, even like
Definitely.
like they just
Definitely.
they have a lot of issues.
I think we're in a transition period until like
let's just
Avengers really starts to kind of like get that ball rolling, but it takes who's the guy in charge of the whole Marvel universe?
Kevin Feige.
What's his name? Kevin Feige. It takes a Kevin Feige to show everybody like, no, the actual guy at the head top of the studio needs to be all hands on deck, so you get the support you need, so stuff works, so it doesn't feel like patchwork.
And the reason that Guardians of the Galaxy works isn't just because they have a bunch of pop songs. Suicide Squad, you can't just throw a bunch of pop songs and have No Sleep to Brooklyn randomly for no reason, and it works. But sure, studios, let's go with that. So a rough time in the comic book world. So we went from a birth, we saw a renaissance, and we're kind of in like that low point where we're like, they're happening, but like, is anyone going back and watching any of these movies?
No,
willingly?
no, just us, just us fools. But we're getting ready for a really good cartoon to drop. So
there you go. Okay, cool.
Just count the days.
Okay, and then finally, cultural significance of this film. So in this section, as we journey through these films, we're ranking the top 5 X-Men / villains / mutants, and giving them points. So the way this works is you get 1 point if you're the 5th ranked guy, and you get 5 points if you're the number 1. At some point, I should go through and actually like tally up all of our scores, because I feel like I did that like after X-Men 3, and now it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies. So maybe I should go back and do that at some point. Anyways, but for today, let's how are we going to rank these X-Men, these mutants that appear in this film? Because they say the word mutants because it's a Fox property. Pretty exciting. Deadpool. Yep. All right, so Tyson, who is your 5th ranked mutant in this movie?
Can I use your fun game where if they get mentioned, I can use them?
Yeah, because really there's like 3, maybe. I don't really want to talk about the bad guys because they were kind of lame. Like, that might be also a bad... Like, the villains in this film are kind of lame. But I think because it's not a grand scale, right? It is just about a story about a guy trying to get revenge and, like, get his girlfriend back. And it's not about some witch opens a dark sky in the air and we have to go stop her because she's, like, sucking up a city.
Yeah. Well, I think... Kevin says it in the movie. He's like, this is a romance story. And I'm like, so it's a romance, superhero, rated R action movie. That's what you got to take it as. The plot doesn't matter. The characters don't matter.
Yes.
It's the jokes, and the people make kissy, and then there was boobies, and then there was a dick joke. So,
yeah, I mean, that's basically it. It's kind of, good times.
Yep.
All right, cool. So number 5.
I guess... Remember my number 5? Yeah, you know what? You start it. We'll go back and forth.
Okay, so I'm going to start with mine, just because he was dropped. And we know he's actually in the second one. I'm going to give 1 point to Cable, just because I don't want his average to come down. And I don't even know if I'm going to count this, so he might just get, like, added points. So if next time he gets, like, 5 points, he gets 6, he'll have, like, the highest average. Good job, Cable. And I think Cable might be one of my favorite X-Men. I don't know why. I think I like that weird 90s edgelord thing he had going on.
Cable's an interesting character, and even in the newer runs of comics, like most recent one, like he was a main character in the X of Swords line, and I think that he's interesting. He's interesting, and it's funny. I always used to say before I knew who actual X-Man was, I would just be like, I like X-Man, I like Nate, and you're like, so you like Cable? Mm-hmm. Well, it's like, I guess yes. So my number 5 is actually Negasonic Teenage Warhead, who has the stupidest name ever, but Deadpool thinks it's awesome.
Oh, so. I think it's awesome too. That's the only reason. Yeah, when she's on my list, literally just a name. Number 4, who do you have?
I got Cable.
Oh, okay.
Right. I'm slotting in Cable there. So he's going to have 2 points. So he might actually have the highest score
ever
above. So
if he gets a 5 next time, we may not even count him in this movie. Like, yeah, he's just going to have like a 6.5 average out of 5.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
So when we're like, so number 1 is Cable.
No one will ever beat him. Perfect. Professor X, again, they mentioned it. Oh, we're not sure if it's McAvoy or Stewart, though. The timelines are kind of confusing in these movies, so we're not sure which Professor X it is, but we know there is Professor X in this universe. And because they mentioned him, I was like, oh, I'd watch a James McAvoy performance right now. I love that guy. He's great. So there you go, Professor X. Tyson's favorite X-Men in his favorite X-Men movie.
Yep. Well, actually, oddly enough, my number 3, Professor X.
Ooh, that's fun. My number 3 is Colossus. He's like only
Nice.
CGI. He's there. He has kind of like a fun speech at the end about like the 4 moments that make a superhero. It's kind of fun.
Yep.
That's a good bit. I like that bit because like as he's doing this impassioned speech, I was like, oh, Deadpool's definitely just shooting this guy in the head. Like,
Well, why wouldn't you? Like, that's what he was going to do the first time.
and it was like it's so funny because like Colossus is just so like he just is such as like I'm like, yep, that's the speech that you're supposed to give in your comic book movie. Perfect. It's funny.
Yeah.
Who do you have at number 2?
I got Colossus because he does do a great job. He really is a steam sealer. Like, it's funny, I guess, that he is eating his cereal at the beginning, just fully transformed.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, they're not going to try in this.
Nope.
He's just always going to be transformed. And then he's a really polite guy when Angel Dust gets accidentally exposed, and that's what his downfall is. Then he gets punched in the dick.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, Colossus.
Good job. All right. For myself, at number 2, I have Negasonic Teenage Warhead. It's a phenomenal name. It's great. That's top notch. She's kind of just a moody teen, plays it up well.
Fair enough. And
then number 1.
my number 1.
Yeah.
I got Wolverine.
What?
He gets mentioned.
She does get mentioned. All right. So Wolverine, you still get another 5 points. You did nothing. Sure. That'll really help the average. So.
Yep. Well, without him, this movie doesn't get made. You're welcome.
Yeah, very true. And then myself, I have Deadpool. I thought he was funny. He's done. I've also seen Deadpool in a different movie, and it was maybe the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. So the fact that he was wearing like a cool suit, it looks comically accurate. He breaks a 4th wall. He's funny. Ryan Reynolds is kind of funny, and like
he does do the things. Like,
I'm gonna stop you, Tyson. We actually apparently have 52 minutes to make this podcast. We're over.
No!
I know I have to do some editing. So cool. All right. Well,
see ya.
I guess we're cutting it there. Our review on Deadpool was I forced myself to like it. Tyson just accepts that he doesn't like it. So I guess we'll see you guys in a couple weeks for our next game we're playing. Cool.
Oh, shoot. Well, see you guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
It's over. Go home. Oh, you're expecting a teaser for Deadpool 2. Well, we don't have that kind of money. You're expecting Sam Jackson show up with an eye patch and a saucy little leather number?